Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hi friends, welcome to Sharp Ends. Today I want to give you some tips about how to strop. I've been asked this several times by people who are new to the knife world. What's up with stropping? Well, stropping is an easy way to make your knife super sharp again without going through the whole process of using a KME sharpener or some kind of sharpening system. You can restore a knife to 90% of its sharpness as long as you haven't beaten it to a certain point. If you've used a knife like a dog and if you take the time to strop your knife and it's a worker knife, it will remain sharp for a very long time. If you don't strop it though, but once every 6 months, then you might need to resharpen it first. So stropping is a good way of maintaining an edge. It won't create an edge, but it will maintain an edge for a very long time. The first thing I will say is that when you take your blade and you run it across your fingernail, or you feel the edge of it, if you feel like a chip or like a burr, or if you can see a place that is a little bit burry, what you'll want to do is you'll want to take a stone or a one of your knife diamond stones, and you'll want to just run it across it a couple of times to get that edge off. You don't want to necessarily strop when it has a piece of metal hanging off the edge. Most of the strops come with two sides. They come with a smooth leather side and a rough leather side. The kind that you get doesn't necessarily matter. You can spend a lot of money, or you can go on Amazon and buy a cheaper model. I have been getting the cheaper ones. I have a few of them now. What you do is you start on this side. Now, when you get it, you will get two compounds. You'll get a green compound and a white compound. And if you're just starting out, these are absolutely fine. You take the green, and this has I can't remember what the micron level is, like 10, I think, or something like that. You rub it on this side, and then you're supposed to take the white and rub it on this side. What I will say is, don't use the white on the smooth side. Just leave the smooth side smooth and don't use any compound on it. I find that the compound doesn't really help, and you get a better mirror finish with just the plain leather than you do. Now, however, the other side, I do think you should put some compound on, and the green compound is fine. Now, you'll notice that mine is gray. That's because I use gunny juice, 0.5 microns. This stuff is great. It's also kind of expensive, but a bottle of it will last you most of your life. And what you do is you just put a couple of drops. Like, I don't know, the first time I put stuff on here, I probably put on maybe somewhere between 6 and 10 drops, and I just rubbed it in, and then I let it dry. You want to let the compound totally dry in here before you do it. Next thing you want to do is you want to take the knife, and at the angle, now most knives are somewhere between 22 and 16 degrees is what the angle of your blade is going to be from the factory. I start, and you want to do it at about that degree, so it's pretty flat. So, you know, we're talking about very flat, just a little bit off of that. Once you get the angle, it's pretty easy to get it. And what you want to do is I start at the tip and I go this way. And I start at tip and I go up like that. And now I don't want to go up and accidentally hit the scale on the side here, so you just want to be careful about that. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do. And so what I would do is I would do this side on 60 times. People do different formulas. You're going to do it different. You're going to do it differently than me. I think the person who first taught me how to do it told me to start at 40. I start at 60. I go 60 on this side, and then I switch it over and I do 60 on this side. And then once I've done 60 on this side, I flip it over and I do 40. And then I do 40. And then I do 30, 30, 20, 20, 15, 15, 12, 12, 10. And then from 10, I go 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then I flip over to the other side, and then I do the same thing on the other side. I do 60, 40, 30, 20, 15, 12, 10, 9, 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then what I would suggest you do is before you start stropping, take a piece of paper and see how well it's going to cut. All right. So this cuts pretty good. When I'm done stropping it, you should be able to tell a noticeable difference between the sound. Hear the sound? Between the sound as well as how well it does a scroll cut. In other words, when you put the blade in and you kind of wave it back and forth, you should be able to see a waviness to that line. And it should go through, and there should be no kinks. There should be no spots where it kind of catches on the paper. If it catches on the paper, that means that you have a little nick in the steel, and you should take your rod that you have in your kitchen for your kitchen knives, and you should run it carefully on both sides a few times to get that nick out. Or a diamond stone, like I said in the beginning, right? And there's a couple of different options for that, but I'm not going to talk about those today. So that's it. That's how you strop. I hope that you enjoyed this or found this helpful. And if you have any questions, leave them down below and let me know what you think. Thanks for joining me on Sharp Ends. And if you would please leave a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Have a good one.